everybody. Happy Tuesday. It is time for Tuesday Live at 5. Thank you so much for joining me. I am really excited to share these cute projects with you today. I hope you've had a good week since last we met, and I've had a chance to chat with some of you. That's really fun. So thank you for commenting and checking out my videos. I really appreciate the comments, and I really appreciate the likes and the shares. So if you are watching and you know someone who you think might be interested in what I have to share today, feel free to share it and let them know to join us, okay? All right, so these are the 3 projects I'm going to demonstrate today. They all feature this adorable bundle in the holiday catalog. So this is the Candy Cane Season Bundle. It features a stamp set with all kinds of cute 2-step stamping images and the coordinating punch. So this is a great bundle for those of you who are newer stampers who may not have all the bells and whistles and the big shots and all of those things. This is a great little set to get started making some cute Christmas projects for a relatively low cost. Now I'm going to just set this aside for a moment and bring in the holiday catalog so I can show you exactly where you'll find this stamp set. So here we are on page 20 of the holiday catalog. Get rid of my sticky there. So the bundle is right here in this top corner. The bundle, if you buy the stamp set and the punch together, you actually save a little. So it's 10% off the individual price. So there's your stamp set, there's your punch. In Canada, the bundle price is $41.25, which is a pretty reasonable price for a great stamp set and coordinating punch. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for now, and we are going to get started. So I'm going to start today with this card. Let's just set these guys aside. And this is one that I actually was inspired by a fellow Canadian demonstrator by the name of Alison Sullivan. And I changed up her design a little bit, but I just thought it was a really cute, simple card for maybe newer crafters who are not really comfortable with a whole lot of layers and die cutting and embossing and things. So I'm going to show you how to put that one together. So my color scheme for this is Poppy Parade and Garden Green. Now that is drawn from the DSP that I used. All right, so the DSP is actually from the Santa's Workshop DSP pack, and that has just come into stock again. I just got an email today that it is back in stock. Probably won't last long because it is absolutely adorable. So there is the DSP pack. It coordinates with this Santa's Workshop suite in the catalog. It's on page 19, which is just ahead of where the Candy Cane Season Bundle is. And in fact, this bundle is intended to coordinate with this DSP as well. This is what they call a mega suite. So we have 2 bundles within that suite. So you will see that there are some cute candy cane patterned pages in that DSP pack, and we're going to use a couple of them today. Alrighty, so I'm going to grab my little kit of goodies here, and the first thing I'm going to do is take my card base. So my card base, this is a piece of 8.5 by 11, so it's 8.5 this way, actually by 5.5. So this was a 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock that I cut in half and scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so this whole piece is 8.5, this one's 5.5, and I scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half along my score line. If you don't have a score, that's okay. You can just go ahead and fold your cardstock in half and use a bone folder to go ahead and crisp that up. So there is my card base. All right. Now I have a piece of 2" by 5.5" DSP. This is from that Santa's Workshop pack. All of our DSP is double-sided, in case you weren't aware. And this is a really cute pattern. In fact, when I did this at a class, I had a few people choose to use the little elf pattern because it's really adorable too. But I want to keep it fairly neutral, so I'm going to keep my striped garden green piece there. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply some fast fuse. You can use whatever adhesive you have on hand. And we're going to go ahead and adhere that right along the fold on my card. Okay, just like that. All right, I'm going to set that one aside for a little bit. And then I'm going to take this candy cane stripe. Now I wish you could feel this paper. It is fuzzy. This DSP pack is actually a specialty DSP, and several of the pages feature this white flocking. And it is just so fun and tactile. It just makes you want to sit there and rub it. It's really, really, really fun. So this is a piece of 3" by 4" DSP. And I have a piece of garden green cardstock that is 3 1/8 by 4 1/8. So whenever you're trying to layer different layers, you basically want to increase your dimensions by the equivalent amount. So this is 3 by 4, so I increased each one of these measurements by 1/8 of an inch, so 3 1/8 by 4 1/8 to give me that mat, so that when I put my DSP on there, do you see how that's going to layer and give me a nice border all the way around? Okay, so the larger the border you want, the more you're going to increase your dimensions by. I hope that makes sense. All right, so let's take and put a little bit of fast fuse on the back of this piece. And I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to my mat. Just like that. Easy peasy, right? All right, next I have a little bit of this garden green baker's twine. Now this is a little bit heavier weight twine than some of the twine we carry. It's sort of a medium weight. And what I'm going to do, I'll show you the original again. It looks like I've wrapped this around and tied it, right? Well, I don't know if you've ever tried to wrap twine around a flat piece of cardstock and tie a nice tidy bow, but that is not the easiest thing to do. So I'm going to show you a little shortcut. I'm going to take some glue dots. Oh, this roll's just about done. I'm going to put one at the top on the back of my mat, and I'm going to put one at the bottom, just like that. So can you see I've got a glue dot there and a glue dot there. Then I'm going to take my twine, one end of it, and I'm going to press it into the glue dot. I'm going to wrap it around, crisscross it over, and then press it into the other glue dot. Trim off my extra. And there I have my twine wrapped around my cardstock. Okay, with me so far? Easy, right? All right, now I'm going to add my little bow. And to do that, I need another glue dot. I want my twine, it to look like my bow is crisscrossed at the twine, or is adhered at the crisscross there, okay? So do you see how my crisscross is not quite where I want it? I kind of want it to be a little bit higher. So all I'm going to do is take a glue dot, stick it down there, and then I'm going to move my twine so that the crisscross is where I want it, just like that. Okay, so now it's glued down. You can see that glue dot peeking out there, but by the time we put the bow on, we're not going to see it. So I'm adhering my bow just by pressing the knot into a glue dot and pressing that onto the front of my twine. Look at that. Looks like I tied it, right? Easy. All right, now we're ready to go ahead and glue that onto the front of our card. So again, I'm going to use some fast fuse. You can use whatever you like. You want to make sure you get some adhesive on the other side of that twine because it is a little bit bulky and it will not want to lie down flat for you. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that onto the front of my card. And the nice thing about this DSP is it's got nice straight lines, so it helps you get your pieces on straight. Look at that. Cute, right? We could just leave it like that. But no, we need a candy cane. So I'm going to set that aside again. And this time I'm going to take just a scrap, well, a large scrap of Whisper White cardstock, and I'm going to start my stamping. Now, these are two-step stamp images, all right? I could use my Stamparatus to line them up perfectly, and I have in the past. However, I tend to be pretty good at lining these up. Now, having said that, and bragged about how good I am at lining them up, we will see how I do. So I have found with this particular candy cane, so we have an outline image and then we have the stripes, okay? You want to stamp your outline first. So I'm going to ink it up with my Poppy Parade. And because I'm going to punch it, I want to be near the edge. I don't want to be too right in the middle of the cardstock. Then I'm going to take my stripes and I'm going to go ahead and line these up. I'm going to attempt to do this on live video. Let's see how it goes. Oh, not bad. Oh, I didn't have my stamp fully inked, but that's not bad. All right, so there's my image. I'm going to go ahead and slide it into my punch. Now, this is a builder punch, right? So it's going to punch out that little bow, which is why I've got a large piece, because I'm going to lose a little bit of it. If I was worried about losing that bit, you could use a smaller, narrower strip of cardstock, and then you wouldn't waste that little bow bit. Okay, so there is my candy cane. Now, throwing my punch around. That little not perfectly stamped bit is not going to matter because I'm going to hide it with my bow. All right, so I'm going to move this out of the way. And now we're going to do our bow. Now, this again is a two-step stamp image. I'm going to start with my outline. Actually, no, I lied. This time I'm going to start with my solid. And I'm going to stamp it off once. So stamping off simply means I'm stamping on my grid paper before I stamp on my cardstock. And I'm actually going to do it on this little corner so I don't waste anything. Okay, so you can see it's a lighter shade of the red. Then I'm going to take my second stamp and I'm going to attempt, I'm not looking straight on from this, so this is where it's like you stamp and you hope. Not great, but not bad. And stamp my bow. Okay, I'm going to close that up, and once again I'm going to punch out my stamped image. And about there. All right, so now I have my candy cane and my bow, just like that. Okay, to attach my bow, I'm just going to use a little glue dot. So I'm going to press the back of the bow onto a glue dot. And look at that, no one will ever know that I didn't have a perfectly inked stamp. Okay, all right, so the last thing, not the last thing, but the next thing that we're going to stamp are these holly leaves that kind of are in behind the candy cane. So I have a circle that I've die cut using the Stitch Shapes framelits. Now, if you don't have a big shot, you can certainly use a circle punch. This one is about 2 1/4 inches, I think. Almost 2 1/2, 2 3/8. So you want something approximately that size, but a little bit bigger or smaller is not going to make a big difference. So I'm going to stamp my holly leaves on there. And again, we're two-step stamping. So I've got my garden green ink. And this time I'm going to stamp my solid holly leaves. Again, I'm going to stamp off. So I've inked it. I'm going to stamp on my grid paper. And then I'm going to stamp on my circle, just like that. Okay, that gives me a lighter shade. So that when I go in now with the darker shade, I get the shading. Okay, so you see the light in behind the dark. All right, so that is that done. Now we are ready to go ahead and, oh, no, we're not. We got to stamp our sentiment. Almost forgot the sentiment. Can't do that. All right, we are going to use a sentiment that is actually from the Peaceful Noel stamp set. So there are lots of cute sentiments in this stamp set, but this is one that I like. It's a small little sentiment that's in the Peaceful Noel set. This is actually a set that I'm going to be featuring next week, in next week's video, but we're going to use this little Merry Christmas sentiment here. And I'm going to mount it on one of my little holly blocks here. And I'm going to stamp it in garden green ink. So we're going to stamp it just on that little strip. These are those little strips. I've mentioned this, I think, probably every week. These are the little strips that are left when you cut your 4 by 5 1/4 inch mats for the inside of your card. Do not ever throw them out. They make fantastic little banners. So if you recall, the easiest way to get your banner points even is trim off your excess, snip in the middle, and then from one corner and the other corner. And there's my little, whoop, didn't quite snip far enough on that one. There we go. There's my little banner. Now I don't need quite that much on that end, so we'll get rid of that. And then I'm going to go ahead and glue my sentiment to the back of my candy cane. So I'm going to put my glue dot on the front of my banner, just like that. And then I'm going to go ahead and adhere it to my candy cane like that. Okay, and then that is going to pop onto the front of my circle. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm going to use some dimensionals because everything is more fun popped up, right? Now, this is a rather sorry looking sheet of dimensionals that I rescued from the trash bin at one of my classes. Don't ever throw these edges out. That's like throwing away perfectly good adhesive. All right, so I've got my dimensionals on there. I'm going to peel off my backings. And I'm going to pop that onto my circle. And I want to do it so that my holly leaves are just kind of peeking out from behind my bow there. Okay, there we go. And then that is going to go onto the front of my card also with some dimensionals, because as I said, you can never have too much pop. So we'll get rid of these backings. And we're going to put this on. Now, I made sure that my sentiment was straight when I put this on. You could certainly do it crooked if you wanted to, but I wanted my sentiment to be straight, my candy cane to be kind of cockeyed. So there is that. Two little finishing touches, because every Christmas card should sparkle a little. We're going to add a little bit of bling. So I've got some little bitty rhinestones here. And I'm going to use my take your pick and pick up my little rhinestonies here. Oh, you don't want to cooperate today, do you? Come here, you. There we go. And we're going to pop one. And come here. Two. Come here. Wow, I am challenged today. There we go. There we go. There is my bit of bling. And then the last little touch, because Wink of Stella just is the best thing ever. And by the way, is on sale today during the online extravaganza. I'm just going to take and add a bit of sparkle. Oh, I think I've got a bit of yellow on there. I'm going to add a little sparkle to my bow. And you'll notice that by doing this, I'm filling in. See that little bit that I missed when I was stamping because I wasn't right on? We're just going to fill that bit in. And nobody will notice. Just like that. Any mistake can be fixed, you see? All right, that's that. How cute is that? Super simple. Some fun DSP, some great texture with that fuzzy cardstock. Done and done. All right, you like that one? All right, let's move along. Now, I don't know about you, but I need lots of treat packaging at this time of year. I am always putting together little treats for people at work, or for my son's teachers, or for friends, or my team, or my class attendees. I'm always putting together little treats. And I love these little pillow boxes that are in the annual catalog. Now I'm going to show you really quick where you'll find them. They are here on page 193. So they're in with all the other sort of packaging products. So right here, they're $6.75 for 10 boxes. So that is a pretty decent price for some really cute packaging, and you don't have to make them. They come all assembled, okay? All you do is decorate. So I'm going to show you this quick and easy little project to make a sweet little treat box that actually coordinates with the last card. I thought it might be neat to give the card and the little box of treats. So here are all my bits for this one. Here is the treat boxes, or one of the treat boxes. They come packaged flat like this. And so what you want to do is kind of plump them up a little bit, and you're going to have to fold in your ends, okay? Now, I tend to put the one with a little notch on the inside just because that seems to be the one that's harder to grab when you're opening it. So I'm going to fold that one in and that one in. Okay, so there's my box. Super simple to put to make into a box. Okay, you can fill it with whatever. Okay, so now we're gonna add a little bit more of that Santa's Workshop DSP. So here is some cute little elves on the back, and then this sweet polka dot image. And I thought that worked really well with the polka dots on the treat box, which is why I chose it. So for this one, I'm just going to take and apply some fast fuse. If you don't have fast fuse, you can use tear and tape. You want a strong adhesive for this because you want to make sure it stays put. And I'm going to start it sort of in the middle front of my box. And again, I'm using the dots on the box to help me get this straight. So I'm going to put that on. I'm going to just wrap this around the box. And it works best if you just kind of pinch as you get to where the edges of the box are. This is a 6 by 2 inch piece of DSP. Now, do you see that gap? Don't worry about it, okay? This way, if you use a 6-inch piece, you can actually get, 6 by 2 would be, what would you get, 12 out of a sheet of DSP? Which is awesome, because you could do a whole package of these boxes with just one sheet of DSP, all right? So, easy and inexpensive. All right, now I need to put this back flat for a minute so I can apply some adhesive to this section here because I'm going to add my ribbon. So I flatten that out again. I'm going to take and add some fast fuse or tear and tape just sort of across that middle joint. I'm not going all the way across, just across the middle section. And then I'm going to reform my box. and I'm going to take some ribbon. So I have, this is the Poppy Parade textured weave ribbon. This is also part of that Santa's Workshop suite. I have about 2 feet of it here, and I'm going to fold it in half. And then I want to take that like right the halfway point and kind of put it at the end of my box like this. So I have sort of equal tails hanging at the right side. And then I'm just going to take and press that onto the adhesive that I put down there. And that's just to keep it in place so that when somebody opens it, the ribbon doesn't just fall off. Okay. So once I've got that in place, then I can go ahead, I'll fill my box. I'm not going to take the time to do that now, but I'll fill my box and tie a wee bow. This ribbon is really quite nice to tie. It holds its shape quite well, and it doesn't slip and slide. So some of the satin ribbon tends to slip and slide, and it's a little bit trickier to get a bow to hold its shape. This stuff holds quite nicely. Now, I may want to just tidy up my ends there, maybe give them a little bit of a decorative pointy finish. Pointy, notched, I don't know, what do you call that? There's my unadorned box, well, semi-adorned box. All right, okay, so now we are going to take and stamp us another candy cane. So I'm going to use the exact same colors. I'm going to go back to my Poppy Parade, again, because I kind of wanted this to coordinate with the last card. So I've got some more scrap. I'm going to stamp my outline, see if I can do a better job lining this one up. We shall see. My Poppy Parade is getting a little bit dry. I got to add some more ink. All right, let's see how we do this time. Oh, that was a good one. Look at that one. All right, so there is my candy cane. Over here on the end, I'm going to do my bow. So same thing. I'm going to start with the solid bow. Stamp off once. I'm going to do it over here so I'm well away from where I know the punch is going to bite out of it. And then I'm going to take the second image that I'm doing full strength without stamping off. Oh, that one wasn't great. That's okay. Okay, so there are my 2 images. I am going to take my punch and pop those out. So here's my candy cane. We'll get that centered in there. That looks good. And then I'll do my bow. Get that centered. There we go. We'll get rid of that. So now I have, whoops, where'd my actual bow go? There it is. And my candy cane. Again, I'm just going to go ahead and adhere that with a glue dot, just like I did on the last card. Pop that onto there. And just like I did on the last card, I'm also going to stamp my For You. Well, I didn't stamp For You on the last card. I lied. I need to stamp my holly first. So let's swap out that stamp. Put that one on there. Now I'm going to stamp my holly. So I'm going to ink my solid leaves, stamp off, stamp it once there, and then again with now this one. We're just going to go for it. Oh, that wasn't bad. Then I'm going to stamp my For You. So my For You is going to kind of be over here on the other side because this is a little treat box. And so this is my tag for the box. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and pop my candy cane on there once again using some dimensionals, my sorry little sheet of dimensionals. And this candy cane is actually just wide enough to fit a full-size dimensional. If you don't want to use a full size, you can certainly use the minis. They will fit just fine on here. So there. Oh, did you realize that all of our adhesives are on sale today? Did you catch that memo? Yes, they are. Dimensionals, mini dimensionals, Tombow, all of your favorite adhesives on sale today and tomorrow, 10% off. All right, so there is my candy cane. Next, what did I do with my, oh, there's my doily. We're gonna go ahead and stick that onto the doily. Now the easiest way to do that is to just run either some snail or fast fuse right across the back of your circle and then take and center it right on your doily. Okay, so it's just gonna pop right on there. And then I took a few dimensionals. I might take my trimmed edges of my dimensionals, which don't seem to want to peel off there. There we go. And add a couple of those across there, because why waste perfectly good adhesive, right? So we'll take that. Whoops, that's my finished one. We're going to pop this right onto there. Just like that. There we go. Done and done. Cute little boxes. Super quick and easy. You could pound out a dozen of these easily in about half an hour or so. So if you have an event coming up, those are quick and easy little treats. All right, we are rolling along. I need to take a second and clean some stamps. Actually, do I? No, I don't. I can keep rolling. All right, last card. Look at that. We're already on our last card. Let me just get some stuff out of the way here. Bring our supplies in for this last one. So here I changed up my color scheme a little bit. I am loving the combination of Coastal Cabana and Poppy Parade. So that's what I used on this one. Coastal Cabana is one of my all-time favorite colors, and I did a big-time happy dance when this one came back. This was an in color that came back as part of the color, what do they call it? Color renovation, color update, color refresh that happened with this new annual catalog. So it is an awesome color along with the Poppy Parade, which is also a pastel color. So I'm going to start with my background piece. So this is a piece of 4" by 5 1/4" Whisper White cardstock. And I'm going to start by stamping this fun little ho 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 background image. I don't know how much of that you can catch on the camera, but we're going to stamp this background image. And it comes it's all set up and spaced out. The big thing that you want to do is make sure you're stamping ho 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 and not o o o, so you're not doing it upside down. Ask me how I know. I'm using smoky slate ink, so I'm going to ink up my stamp, and I'm just going to stamp it sort of down in that bottom right corner. Easy peasy. All right. Next, I'm going to take my little snowflake image, which is also in the Candy Cane Season Stamp Set, and some Coastal Cabana ink. And I'm going to add some snowflakes just kind of across the front of my panel here. Okay, this is just adding texture and interest, all right? Just kind of like a flurry across the front of the card. And then I can go and add my little banners. So I have another little bit of this DSP on here, same one that I used on the little treat box. So this is just a 1/2 inch wide. I don't know how long this is. You really only need, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches, not a whole lot. So I'm going to notch my end again, just like that. And I actually, for little pieces like this, I find glue dots the easiest. So I'm going to lay this on here. Now I need to think about where I want it to go. All right, I don't want it to go all the way across. It's going to come in about a 1/2 inch, and I want it to be straight-ish, just like that. Okay, that excess I'm just going to take and trim off. You could certainly cut and measure precisely. This is just a scrap I had kicking around, so it's easy to trim. Okay, next I'm taking a little bit of this adorable striped Coastal Cabana ribbon. I love this ribbon. This is about, what is it, 1/4 inch wide? Yes. And it is in the annual catalog. It was actually on sale Friday, Saturday, maybe? Ribbons and trims? I can't remember. There have been a lot of sales over the last few days. And I'm going to go ahead and glue that onto the front of my card using glue dots, which I am fast running out of. Come here. Come here. There we go. We're going to stick that guy on there. And then I'm going to take and wrap the ends around the back side of the card and secure it that way. Do I have one more? Yes, I do. That's good. There we go. Just like that. We'll get rid of those. And now I'm ready to stamp my candy cane. So I've got another piece of scrap white. You're going to be getting sick of watching me stamp this candy cane. So which one do I stamp first? The outline, right? It is easier to line up if you stamp your outline first. So there is my outline. And here is my stripe, or here are my stripes. And we're going to try and get this nice and centered. Pretty good. See, these images are pretty easy to line up, which is why I didn't bother with my Stamparatus today. All right, so I'm going to pop out my candy cane. I'm not going to worry about a bow on this one. I actually am going to tie a bow. I'm going to show you again how to tie bows, just in case you missed it the last couple of weeks. And there's my candy cane, just like that. Easy peasy, right? Now, I also have another little 1/2 inch strip of Whisper White cardstock. And this little Be Jolly sentiment, which is from the Candy Cane Season Stamp Set. I'm going to ink that up in Coastal Cabana and pop that or stamp that on there. Then what I'm going to do actually, before I trim this, I'm going to actually adhere it to my candy cane just so I get an idea of how much space I need or how much space I need to trim off. Okay, my glue dots have run out, so I'm going to put just a tinsy touch of Tombow on there. Ooh, tinsy touch of Tombow. Say that 10 times fast. There we go, just like that. Then I know how much I need to trim off, so I'm going to take and trim my ends again. So 1 and 2. Come on. There we go. And then the other end, I'm going to trim a little bit off of that. And 1 and 2. My aim is not good. I'm not wearing my glasses today. I forgot to put them on before the video. And once I started, I realized I wasn't wearing them. And I thought, okay, well, we'll just see what happens. So far, so good. All right. Now, I forgot to mention, I've got all my pieces on here now. So I can go ahead and layer that on my mat. Okay. So this, I told you, was 4 by 5 1/4. So this piece is 4 1/8, so 1/8 of an inch wider than my top piece, by 5 3/8, which is 1/8 of an inch longer. Okay, so when I mat those, I get a nice border. So I'm going to use my Fast Fuse and go ahead and adhere that onto my mat like that. Okay, now I can also go ahead and put this on my card base. So I have a piece of cardstock that is 11 inches by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. So I'm going to go ahead and fold my card base along the score line. And then I can adhere my front panel. I think my Fast Fuse is running out too. Good thing that everything's on sale today. I can order a bunch. There we go. All right, so there is my card. Now I can go ahead and add my candy cane, and this, of course, we are popping up, because why not? Why wouldn't you? Dimensionals are a thing of beauty, so we should appreciate them, right? Yes, we should. So I'm going to pop these off, and that guy's going to go right on there, just like that. All right, so now it's just a matter of some embellishment. So this cute little snowflake is actually die cut with the coordinating framelets from the, it's called Santa's Signpost, or Signs of Santa, that coordinates with the other stamp set that is in this suite. And I'm going to adhere that. Normally I would use a glue dot, but once again, I'm not a glue dot, so I'm just going to put a little touch of Tombow on there, and I'm going to just kind of tuck that in behind my sentiment there like that. Okay, now it's time for a bow. So I have some of that yummy, yummy, yummy striped ribbon. For those of you that are interested, it's item number 146939. This ribbon is just the bomb. Ties beautifully. So I'm going to make my 2 bunny ears, right? 2 bunny ears. I'm crossing my left one over the right and bringing it through the hole and pulling. And there is an Insta bow. Okay, so easy. Bows are not hard. Someone has been lying to you all these years if they've been telling you that they are hard. Probably you've been lying to yourself, saying that they're hard. And then it's just a matter of playing with your loops to get them to the size you want. I want fairly small loops on this one. And then I'm going to trim my tails. And this needs to go on with the glue dot, but I'm out. So we're going to pretend I've just stuck that on there. Okay, so there is my bow. And then finally, I'm going to add some of these little glitter enamel shapes. So these are also in the annual catalog, and conveniently, they come in Coastal Cabana, which is one of the colors in the pack. So I'm just going to add a few sparkly little enamel shapes on here. Come here, you. Put this one here, and this guy up here, and done. Cute, right? Quick, easy, cute. So today is all about quick, because I don't know about you, but I'm starting to feel the pressure of the holidays coming up. and the fact that I have 15,000 things to do and not nearly enough time to do them all. So I'm going to bring in our projects again. So let's get rid of all that trash there. And there you have it. Quick and easy, right? I hope you like those. All right, so just a couple things I want to tell you about before I go. You heard me mention the online extravaganza. We're into the last 2 days, so all adhesives, tools, and inks are on sale today. So now, those are from the annual catalog only. So holiday catalog, like this punch, is not on sale, okay, because it's from the holiday catalog. So anything from the annual catalog is on sale, such as Wink of Stella, it's on sale. All of your inks on sale. Paper snips, how awesome are these? On sale. Glue dots, on sale. Tombow, on sale. So you're going to want to check that out. Now, keep in mind that quantities are limited. So they have set aside a certain quantity of each item that is available for the sale. Once those are exhausted, you won't be able to get them at the sale price, okay? So just keep that in mind and order early. Speaking of ordering, this is the last week for my ordering special for November. Let me just move that out of the way so you can read that. During the month of November, I have been offering a gift with purchase. So if you spend $50 before shipping and tax, you get a free package of Under the Mistletoe DSP. This is the beautiful holiday Christmas DSP that is in the annual catalog. If you spend $100 before shipping and tax, you get a free Hung with Care stamp set. This is one of the host exclusive stamp sets that is in the holiday catalog. All right, so that is my ordering special for this month. If you are interested in placing an order with me, use this host code, or if you are local to Cambridge and would like to save a little bit on shipping, you can email me your order directly and I will place it for you, and you will receive a free gift with purchase. Okay? All right, thanks so much everybody for joining me today. I hope you have a great evening and a wonderful rest of the week, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.